Okay, so this is Xenolord attempt number 1. It's just level 55 Gignesses, level 55 pals all round. I've just been playing for a couple of hours now on the update, Feybreak, and I just want to see what this new raid boss looks like. So this, if it folds, it folds. I'm not really expecting it to, but these are some pretty strong Gignesses with Holy Burst. Maybe if they do a lot of damage, it will work. So this is all pre-recorded now. I'm on vacation with my family, so I'm right now sitting on a blow-up mattress with my old laptop on a nightstand. So this was just the first attempt to see what the boss looked like and how it worked out. And these level 55 Gignesses all got pretty much one shot, so that didn't work out too well at all. I'm going to show some clips of my first couple of attempts. I tried to use Feybreak. It also died pretty much immediately and I timed out. So that wasn't enough DPS with no pal swap. I tried to just throw all my perfect pals at the boss, but it's very difficult to not die when you're swapping pals, and this laser skill is just crazy when you're fighting on the ground. I think you can time perfectly to dodge it, but it didn't work out that way. Yeah, you can see it's a pretty difficult skill to deal with. That's another skill that was also a bit of trouble when you're trying to fight on the ground. So just staying airborne seemed to be best, but then you could also get hit when you were airborne. So I found, like, if you were on Frostallion, you were kind of just above the ground, it worked out. So this is something you can do to give yourself a buff. So this is the lab. And the other thing was the expeditions. So I used expeditions to get the slab fragments, and I used the lab. I only went for kindling and handiwork, so I only had, I think, 4% stat bonus from that in total. I didn't want to stand around in my base. So this is just the proper attempt, the final attempt that I made. So I was theory crafting about the rocket launcher, taking out the waves. So what happens in Xenolord is that instead of a phase change, he summons his buddies twice during the fight. So it's a huge amount of pals to deal with. I was testing if the rocket launcher worked to deal with them. It was kind of okay. Not great, but it's Carbonara on the Frostallion. I did go with the new pal souls on Frostallion. I didn't have any for the Gignes. So now all the pals are leveled up. I used my 500 training crystals to max out pretty much all my armies. So it's the Holy Burst Gignesses with the Diamond Rain and Icicle line. And then it's a Frostallion with maxed souls in defense and HP with the new souls. The old pals didn't get the new souls, I didn't have enough of them. And then it's kind of like Rio. If he jumps during Holy Burst, you miss an entire wave of Holy Burst, which isn't great. But I don't even know how good Holy Burst is against it. As I said, this is more to showcase the boss from this mattress and nightstand setup. I'm not gonna do a proper guide until I get back home. But yeah, the Gignesses are surviving a bit better now, but still, these are all like maxed out pals. But I think they added a lot of stuff now that you should have when you attempt this raid that I didn't have. You kind of want to max the lab, I think, for those 2% stat bonuses. I only had maxed kindling and handiwork here, so missing quite a bit there. And then none of my base pals have the new fancy souls, which I think is probably worth quite a lot of stats for this fight itself. So when he gets stunned like this, the Xenolord reaches the stun phase, similar to the old bosses. Instead of changing phase later, after each stun, he now summons a bunch of pals. So you can see, maybe you can see a bunch of Xenovators spawn in a clump. So this is when I was thinking maybe it's worth using like rocket launcher for them, but instead I just swapped to not have to reload so much. The privilege of having a bunch of legendary quad launchers. And that's one of his special skills. He flies up in the air and then he bombs down. So just staying airborne here seemed to work pretty well with Frostallion. Frostallion has a crazy good partner skill that turns your attacks to ice and also gives you 40% attack damage bonus. I did have an issue with sound here. I haven't been able to have any sound when doing this raid, so like reload cancelling is more difficult, and I can't hear like comets and stuff like that. A little bit more difficult here. It'll be better when I'm back home. It's a little bit scuffed, but yeah, that's the bomb attack. You can see all the Blastomuts died. And now I'm kind of like thinking, I'm considering not doing a swap at all, because going down to the pal box is just so dangerous. I feel like there's a lot of skills that just one-shot me, and I'm not too sure how to deal with it. This is all the old armor. I haven't spent time making any new armor or shields or anything like that. So yeah, I'm not really sure. Like, it feels like, sure, I can buff my pals a lot with the souls and the new research thing, but doing this move here feels pretty dangerous. And this is the new phase. So a bunch of pal summons, the laser attack. I think I went under like the last one of them, but there should be a way to dodge it, probably using the grapple or something. I just haven't really been focusing so much on it, but it's probably something you really want to learn a good method to dodge if it's grappling. For me, it was like if I had the time, mounting Frostallion and just jumping and hovering seemed to work pretty well. But that was the second wave of those meteor pals. Not sure if you could see them well. I was panicking and running. It was a very difficult fight. This is like my 10th attempt, I think. I had some where I beat the boss, but I died. I wanted to get one where I didn't die, just for a clean kill. And here I discovered like a kind of cheese. As long as you're far enough away from the pal box, it will just keep on spamming that attack on the pal box, and it doesn't do much damage. It's not like Libero that killed the pal box eventually. It has 20,000 HP and it's doing like 6 damage per hit to the box. So you could just keep doing this forever. I was trying it out now in this video. You could probably do a much better job of it than I am here. I was kind of not really noticing how many missiles were missing. I was just like, huh, my damage is really low. So I was just shooting at a bad timing, I think. A lot of missiles going for these random like Vixies and stuff around the rush roars. So I was considering not doing a swap at all, because it was very scary. I died a lot when I was swapping pals to random laser attacks and stuff. I was considering a swap there, but I didn't dismount fast enough, and then my shields are gone, so up I go again. And I'm a little bit worried about the timer here, since I'm missing so many missiles. I think this right here is when I was realizing that a lot of my missiles were not actually hitting. They were just kind of like hovering around the boss. So I felt like I needed to get my shields back up again, like they're regenerating here. But I don't know. I was really tunnel visioning on just staying alive. I wasn't focusing so much on damage here, because I really wanted a clean kill. But this feels pretty cheesy. I'm probably gonna, when I get back home, sort of try to discover some tactics that work that don't feel this cheesy. But for now, like, I don't have the time here to farm pal souls and the new armors and the ores and stuff for to survive. Like, we'll see how survivable the player becomes, because right now it feels like you are the weak point. Like, if you max out the base pals with souls and stuff, maybe they can just solo the boss while you stand naked next to the pal box and just swap pals and die over and over. Probably a viable strategy. But here I felt like my DPS was just too low. I needed to risk it, get a swap in. So there's a risk here of dying. I think I got pretty lucky. He used, I think that's like flame funnel or something. But he could have used like his dash or special skill or the lasers. So you need a little bit of luck when doing the swap. I died a few times during the swap in the previous attempts to his strong attacks. Maybe you time the swap, like when you see him charge up a weak attack or something, you'll probably discover a good method. But like, I want to join my family by the pool. I've been sitting here for 7 hours now, apparently. They've been saving me a spot, but they've been very supportive. They just wished me luck and told me to go get them, and yeah, supportive family all around. So that was Xenolord. The reward is similar to the other bosses. Not sure if I remember to show it, but you get an egg. There's a chance for the +2 rings, I think it's dragon resistance and dark resistance rings. And now I'm just showing like the pals, but that's probably not so necessary. I mean, you might have seen a flash of the loot there. I don't know. I was spaced out. I've been playing for like 7 hours when I recorded this. Then I just went down, edited it, and now I'm doing the voiceover. So now it's time for like lunch and going to the pool, saying hi to the family. But for now, thanks for watching.